Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to take a shot. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
I think that typically we expect teams to save their home run plays for later in the game when they feel like they have an advantage over a defense. But in this case, they thought they had the advantage right away and took the shot on the first play of the game and completed it successfully.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Mahomes picked by his ex-teammate Marcus Peters. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and a man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. That catch good for only a couple. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
This time, Jackson will throw it. He gets this underneath to Dobbins, and he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. They rallied and made the tackle.
And this one is no good. He missed it, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. The numbers for him from a week ago: 14 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. First catch on that one for Kelsey, and it's a 1st down. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And we do talk a lot about how the tight end position has changed in the NFL. Here's a great example. It used to be that they were linemen who occasionally caught passes. Now they're wide receivers who occasionally block people. And right here, this isn't tight end speed. It's definitely wide receiver speed.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this one's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
He was covered by Patrick Queen.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he will have a Ravens first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. From the gun, it's Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
At the 48-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Chiefs 7, Ravens nothing.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Caught by Snead over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 11 out of Baltimore, first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll take this close to a first down at the Chiefs' 28. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the option, it's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at at their own.
KC's offense ready to take over. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. Not much there, only a yard.
Kelsey. A gain of a yard. Brings up second.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. Charles, will take a look there at the draft class for the Super Bowl champs as they took Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the final pick of the first round.
And I think a lot of people expected them to draft defense in the first round as they continue to want to get better there, but they are the Super Bowl champs, and they decided to stay on the offensive side and give themselves an extra weapon. But they did dress the defense in the second round. Willie Gay, a linebacker, could flat out fly. He was the choice.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Gets this one to Hill. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still first down.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now here's Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes, he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Tyreek Hill, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now you see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt.
What are you doing?
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
20-yard line.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. A throw over the middle, caught by Bryant. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson, throw right side, taken in by the tight end, Bryant. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up. And
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
A fumble on the play.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. A 10-point victory in the end. 24-14, the final. From there, we head down south to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it was the visiting Chicago Bears who come away with the victory. A field goal was the difference. 27-24, the final. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. 38-24 was the final. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Now this will make it into the end zone. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
the kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here's Sam Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Here's Hill on the return. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. And anytime a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing?
That's the best way to put it, but you have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball, the guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you've got to cover him with enough people that they throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. They go play fake. Mahomes looking for Kelsey on the deep. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's Mahomes to throw.
They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And between the last 2 plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
The last 2 guys on the cover of Madden going toe-to-toe here, and a great one brewing in the 3rd. Everything we'd expect from Mahomes and Jackson, 2 of the best young stars in the game.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll go as a loss on the play, not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Now Edwards-Helaire.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
How about that stand defensively? The sticks were moving against them. 1st down after 1st down was being piled up. They had driven all the way down the field, and then they ran into a wall on 3rd and goal. Nice job regrouping. Very impressive.
The score, Chiefs 17, Ravens 10.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, That is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete here. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete.
Jackson's pass thrown to the sideline and incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw again is Jackson. Going deep here for Bryant. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Downs, and he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It's definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
56.
Jackson going to run, and he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2.
That's going to bring up a big call now because he's unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
Dalvin's going to take the handoff on the option. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That was a huge play on 3rd down. So now what? Do you go for it? Do you trust your offense? Or do you want to put on your defense to try and get the ball back? Me? I'm going for it right here.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, 1-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick 6.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
And the lead is up to 14. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's got Snead. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. But correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Jackson will throw again. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Again, Jackson. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A throw on the quick slant, going to be complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He gets this underneath to Dobbins, and they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Des Bryant, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Ravens draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And he'll bang that one through. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. So a 7-point game, they'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that one. They needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Toss left side for Edwards-Helaire. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here comes Edwards-Helaire on the toss right. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Mahomes to throw. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short. And he didn't get there. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside to the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
Jackson's pass.
5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. Here's Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for Kansas City, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile,